Hello everyone, I'm Santiago and today I'm going to be testing Armored Core 6 on the Steam Deck. So let's start with the 30 FPS configuration, then I'll show you how to get 40s. So first of all, go to high settings, native resolution, and well, since it's 30 FPS, I personally would just keep motion blur enabled. You can disable it if you want to, that's an option, luckily. But when I'm targeting 30, I rather keep motion blur on. In smaller screens is fine for me. So let's get into it. Oh, and I forgot to disable allowed tearing. Sorry guys. That's why it's so stuttery. There we go. So as you can see here, we get the reflections, we get the good draw distances, we get basically everything. So yeah, it works just fine like this. I'll personally lock it to 30, but there's an in-game option, but it doesn't have proper frame times. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. You can use the Steam Deck's menu FPS lock, but you get more latency, so up to you. Personally, with unlocked frame rates, it feels fine on the Steam Deck screen. But if you want to get consistent 30s, that's how you do it. You either do it in the options menu, or you do it from the Steam Deck's OS. So yeah. For 40s we need to do more adjustments, but as you can see here, it's fine. When effects show up like this, that's when it drops, but then it stabilizes rather quickly. If that bothers you too much, consider lowering the effects to medium and the volumetrics. Oh yeah, looks great like this. You don't miss out on the reflections, you don't miss out on any visual feedback from the game, which is always good. There we go. So yeah, that's the way to do it. And again, if you want more consistent 30s, effects on medium, volumetrics on medium, and what am I missing? Yeah, effects and volumetrics on medium, and maybe lower shaders to medium as well, but all up to you. It'll be more stable when there's lots of explosions. But I think high is good enough. Again, all up to you. Unfortunately, this is not enough for locked 40s, but we're going to be talking about that in a moment. So yeah. These are my tweak settings. I would say this is the best settings for a balance of quality and performance. So I want to show you this in handheld mode because, well, the text is very tiny on the Steam Deck screen. That's one of the issues with the game right now, at least according to Valve. So, and I agree with them in that front. So let me show you that very quickly. 1 second. Alright guys, welcome back. Using the same settings as before, we're back into the game. And as you can see, it looks very nice on the Steam Deck screen, at least in my opinion. The thing is, again, as I said before, if you pause the game, you probably notice this. The text is very small, so it's kind of hard to read sometimes. And I'm not sure why there is keyboard and mouse prompts, which is funny because when From Software released Dark Souls 1, it only had console controls prompts, which is funny. Pretty ironic. Maybe that's a thing that if you connect a controller it changes, but maybe I'm missing something in the menu. And as you can see, this gives us 30 FPS. If you want to lock it, go for it. But there's more latency, unfortunately. So I think that's the best configuration, either high or a mix between medium and high. Let me now show you the 40 FPS configuration. Bear with me, that the text is very tiny, so on quality put it on low, then go into quality settings, and let me make it clearer for you guys. Also put the refresh rate at 40, lock it to 40 here, allow tearing, and while textures put it on high, anti-aliasing put it on high, SSAO on medium, depth of field I'd rather turn it off, motion blur as well because we're not playing at 30. And what else? Yeah, and I think this should do. So you're sacrificing the settings for low, but you keep good textures, good anti-aliasing, and some ambient occlusion. Maybe you can even crank up the shadows to medium a little bit. So let's see if it stays at 40. And let me... yeah, it's time to restart the checkpoint, because there's no enemies. I killed them all. Imagine that. Yeah, I know. That was very cringe. There we go. And as you can see now, yeah, we got worse effects, all that. I think reflections will be missing. Let me check. Yeah, we only have cube maps. But I mean, it's a sacrifice for 40 FPS. It's way smoother than 30, without a doubt. Let me see if I can add the reflections without a performance hit. That's probably not possible, but hey, who knows? Reflections, high. Yeah, there's no medium for reflections. Huh. And there you got screen space reflections. They're not amazing, but it's a good plus. Now let's see if we can keep it at 40 like this. So far it seems that we can. And I'm sorry I don't know the controls on Gamepad. I've been playing this with mouse and keyboard. Okay. Seems to be okay. Oh, come on. It has keyboard prompts for some reason. I'll check the options later outside of this video, but 40s looks way better. At least so far. I think I prefer 40s over 30s, despite the graphical jump, which I don't think is a huge drop in quality. Okay, when effects show up here, it's kind of a... yeah. Now let's get rid of reflections. I spoke too soon. So what can you do? What you can do is lower reflections and lower the resolution to 720 as an alternative. You have black bars here and here, unfortunately, but more consistent frame rates. Oh man, that sucks when that happens. I think there we were CPU limited actually. So yeah, 720p is also an option, but you lose some screen real estate. Which again, the bars up here and down here. But I think that was a CPU limitation. So you have those both options. A mix of medium and low, targeting 40s on native resolution, or 720p instead, with black bars and top and bottom, but slightly more consistent frame rates. At 40 FPS as a target, of course. And 60s was pretty much impossible. I tried the lowest settings at the lowest resolution, and let's just say it was hitting 60s when looking at the sky. So, yeah, basically not 60. Yeah, I'm using my missiles. Yeah, here, that's what I was saying. Here's dropping frames, but the GPU clock is not the highest it can go. So it's a CPU limitation. The CPU and GPU need to share that 15 watt TDP. So the GPU cannot take the lead here. Hence, we're dropping frames. Oh well. Still at 40 is wonderful. So yeah. I think I'd rather play at 40 with some drops than log 30s. It's that much better. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye, guys.